All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Diploma of Nursing webinar. Thank you all for coming. In the spirit of reconciliation and this being National Reconciliation Week, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country and in all of the regions in which MARTA operates and their connection to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. It is our pleasure to host this evening's session. We are excited to have you with us and speak about our Diploma of Nursing, running fee-free in July 2024 in Brisbane, Springfield and Townsville, and the opportunities it presents for an exciting career in healthcare. Hi, my name is Tara Walton and I am your host this evening. I am the lead educator and head of discipline based at Mater Private Hospital in Townsville. We have a great team of educators here at Mater Education in Brisbane, Springfield and Townsville who are dedicated to support you in your nursing journey. This evening, we will talk about our nursing curriculum and answer any questions that you may have. We will hear from Paola Paz, our Learning Support Officer, who will share some of the support that Mater Education provides our students through our amazing learning skills team. We will also share information about the support the Student Services team offers students here at Mater Education, including fees, timetables, fee-free study for 2024, and the application process for the Diploma of Nursing. We also hear from our Student Placement Manager, Darren Pamer, who will share the placement process, the requirements and the prerequisites, as well as the work experience opportunities available while studying here at Diploma. We hope this evening's session will be a two-way conversation, and we invite and strongly encourage you to use the Teams Q&A functionality to answer any of the questions as we go. If we have time, we will have time, sorry, for a question and answer later in the session, and we look forward to answering any of your questions. To start, we'd like to show you a video of what it's like to study the Diploma of Nursing with Mater Education. Thanks, Wes. So, as we've just heard, when you study here at Mater Education, you also walk through the doors of Mater, a network of 11 hospitals, including Australia's largest private maternity service, a world class research institute, and a community of more than 10,000 people. Studying our Diploma of Nursing, you will go from a learner to an earner in just 18 months and graduate as a qualified enrolled nurse. You will benefit from hospital based training. So, you're learning here on site at Mater Hospital Brisbane, our new Mater Health Hub at Springfield, or at Mater Private Hospital Townsville, and to experience the real world hospital environment. The hands on experience. So, you participate in theory and in simulation based learning as part of your study load. So, each week you will have time learning in the purposeful built facilities, which mirror a real shift on a hospital ward. You will also participate in 400 hours of organised work placement across Martyrs hospitals and our partnering facilities. Work placement will be managed by our dedicated placement team who will support you through the way. So that's Darren. And you'll get expert guidance and access to our exceptional MARTA network. So you will be taught by highly qualified educators and clinical facilitators. So our educators, we're all healthcare professionals having careers as nurses and clinicians. So we understand what it's like to work in the healthcare industry and share our knowledge and experience with you. So, when you study with us, you can benefit from networking opportunities with your MARTA clinicians, the registered nurses who will be looking after you, and the enrolled nurses from across the statewide hospital network. So, I'd like to share some information about our nursing curriculum, including subjects and electives, and really what to expect when you're studying with us. Okay, so studying Diploma of Nursing fee free for 2024. So we are lucky enough to be one of the only private for providers in Queensland to offer fee free. So you study here at Mater Hospital Brisbane, the Health Hub in Springfield, and Mater Hospital Townsville. We have a 18-month course, which is separated into 3 semesters. So you'll have 20 core units and your choice of 5 electives. And I'm really proud to say that we are the only RTO in Queensland that actually offers the maternity elective for the Diploma of Nursing students. So semester 1 is all about learning the base knowledge around health status, infection control, how to do and perform an assessment on person, some nursing care plans, and then establishing the law and ethics around our nursing. In semester 2, we actually kind of delve into a little bit more detail here. So we do talk about the health status and information of a person, but we also learn about administering medications. So that's actually where I believe the fun stuff begins. So we learn to do injections and all types of medication. We also learn about our acute and our chronic conditions that are taking over our healthcare setting. And then in semester 3, we use that time to consolidate a lot of our knowledge. So we look about our reflective practice, about how we fit as enrolled nurses into the healthcare setting. We talk about more specialised units here. And it's about palliative care, wound care, and mental health. I'd like to introduce you to Paola Paz, our Learning Support Officer, as part of the Learning Skills team. So Paola will talk through some of the support that we provide our students through their study, the graduate pathway, which I know, Paola, thank you, you're amazing at, and it's all for students who have graduated through us, and some important information that you will need about the application process. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. My name is Paula, and I am part of the Learning Support team. So, the Learning Support team is a dedicated team that is there to support you from day one. We provide different types of support. So, one of them is support in class when it has been requested by your educators because they want to make sure that you are successful. We also run voluntary workshops. That means if you and some of your classmates feel like they might need extra support with understanding something, like for example when Tara said, you have fun in semester 2 with the medications calculations and all of that, we come in and we provide support onto working out those calculations. Or we can also provide a one-on-one support. That one can be done face to face or online for your convenience, and also depending on the time availability that you have. Part of the support that we offer as part of the learning skills team has to do with your planning, your organization, your time management. Sometimes it's also transitioning into this new world of studies, whether you are a school leaver or you had coming just straight out of high school, or you have decided to take a break or change your career. We understand. So we are there to support you along the way. We provide assistance with your academic writing, understanding the assessments, breaking the questions down, and working on your study skills and your exam preparation. When you study with Meta Education, you will face different kinds of assessments. So some of them might be a case study, which might be something completely new to you, and we are there to support you. We explain how to ensure that you understand and how to ensure that you are addressing what needs to be addressed. And towards the end, that's when I work a lot more closely with. We work on finding employment and transition to work, like how we navigate that process. After your graduation, and I know that Tara said that the fun begins in semester 2. I think the fun begins in semester 3. So what we do, there are so many different options for you at the end. One of them can be joining the Matter Enrolled graduate program. This graduate program is only available to Matter Education graduates. So part of my role is to ensure that you feel ready to submit your best application and to ensure that you are aware of all these opportunities that are there for you. You can also decide to continue your studies at university to become a registered nurse, a midwife, or even a paramedic. And one of the advantages of studying with Matter Education is that every single year we offer 10 graduates the opportunity to have a direct entry into the Australian Catholic University. ACU. That means that that application process is without having to go through QTAC. It's more of an in-house process. So that is a massive opportunity for 10 students every single year. You can also study at any of our partner universities, like at James Cook University, at Central Queensland Uni as well, if you are like in Townsville, like where Tara is. Or if you decide to, not do a graduate program or not pursue further studies, you can enter the workforce ready as a registered enrolled nurse. When you work as an enrolled nurse, there are so many opportunities nowadays for every one of you. So one of the areas in which you can work, it's in medical and specialist clinics. You can work in emergency or ambulatory care. You can work in operating theaters, community health, aged care settings, mental health services, orthopedic care, rehab centers and oncology centers. So it's not limiting, and it's not just in one area. You can work in so many areas. Part of what we do as well at Mara Education, particularly in the South Brisbane region, and obviously with Springfield, we also hold a careers day in which we invite different vendors to come and talk to all of our students about the potential employment opportunities you can have upon graduation. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the support that student services offer at Mara Education and how the application process as well works. The Diploma of Nursing is an 18-month program, like Tara has mentioned before, and it's currently funded by the Queensland Government under the Fee Free TAFE initiative. That means that you can graduate debt-free. There is some eligibility criteria, and I'm going to walk you through it. But you can study at any of our 3 locations, so Mater Hospital South Brisbane, Mater Health Hub in Springfield, and Mater Private Townsville with Tara as well. Our intakes are slightly different for each location. So for example, in Brisbane and Springfield, you can study in January, April, July, or October. And in Townsville, you can study either in January or in July. The Diploma of Nursing is a full-time program with 3 days per week on campus that require your study, which means that you can work while you study if you choose to do so. You just need to be mindful of the days that you need to be on campus and as well as of your placement blocks. For the upcoming July intake, the days that are on campus differ per site. So, for example, in Brisbane, um, the July intake will have on campus day on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, whereas for Townsville and Springfield, the on campus days are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So, this is something that you need to be mindful of, but these will also be included on your timetables once you decide to enroll with us. Part of your studies with us as well, like Tara mentioned earlier, means that we have 1 day a week that is dedicated to a simulated environment in which you are required to simulate that you are working in a hospital the entire day, and which is one of the advantages of studying with Matter Education because you are on hospital grounds as well. Now, when we talk about the entry requirements, there are a few things that you need to provide in order to get a successful application. First, you need to demonstrate an Excel Level 3 in reading and numeracy on the Australian Core Skills Framework. You must be eligible for a blue card and an NDIS worker screen check. You need to be able to obtain a satisfactory national police check. You are required to have up-to-date immunization records. You must have some computer literacy skills and access to a laptop or a portable device. And you need to understand as well and meet the inherent requirements of the registration requirements upon graduation with APRA, that is the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency. You also need to be 18 years or older at the completion of the program. You must be a domestic student and you must provide evidence of meeting the English language standards. The application process for the Diploma of Nursing at Matter Education begins with applying online via our website. You will collect a unique student identifier, a USI. Then you will need to provide proof of residency or citizenship and proof of Queensland residency. After you complete the online application, you will receive the link to the online literacy and numeracy test, which you can complete online in your own time. Now, a little recommendation from us and a piece of advice is that you find a nice and quiet space and take your time with the test, because you have to be mindful that if you do not pass the test, you will need to wait 3 more months before you can actually resit the test. So once you get that link, take your time, find a quiet space, and try and do your very best. Once you pass the online test, you will then complete an interview with our friendly student services team online via Zoom or Teams before being invited to do a written assessment as well. Once you have successfully met all the requirements and provide all the documents, then you will be offered a place in our July cohort for either Brisbane, Springfield, or Townsville.
Thanks, Paola. Now, if you have any questions for Paola, please add them to the Q&A function. And now I'm going to introduce Darren from our placement team. Now, Darren is going to explain the placement process, all of the requirements, and the work experience that's available to you during your diploma. Over to you, Darren.
Thanks, Tara. Hello and welcome. Work placement. This is the most exciting part of the nursing journey, I believe. So your placement, we'll just wait for the next slide. Sorry. So your placement. So as part of the 18-month course in the diploma, you will undertake a minimum of 400 clinical hours in the work experience placement. Semester 1, as Tara said, was foundational. So that will be in an aged care facility. That's where you put all your bed making, your feeding, your nutrition, your patient hygiene, all into practice, as well as communicating with some wonderful residents in our aged care environment. Semester 2, again, is 120 hours, and that will be in a Mater hospital site. That can be South Brisbane, that can be Springfield, that can be Redlands. We also have sites in Rockhampton, Mackay, Bundaberg, and occasionally we have availability in Townsville. Semester 3 is, go back to semester 2. That's the fun part with the medications. So this is where you get to do all that in the real world. Semester 3 is 160 hours. So this is, as Tara said, the opportunity for everything that you have learned into practice. This too will be in a hospital setting. The option is also available if you go to one of our regional sites as well. You may get the opportunity to go into theatre in semester 3. We're trialling this rotation at the moment, so that could be fun and exciting. To get into placement though, you do have to meet some pre-placement requirements. So you have to meet compulsory vaccinations, and they'll be you'll be told what they are when you're enrolled and get offered. You have to be able to have a police check with 3 months currency on that, and you have to have a first aid and CPR certificate. You also have to have an NDIS clearance, which was mentioned in the previous slide. So where you can go everywhere. Everywhere that Marta offers a placement, we can place you. Your medical, your surgical, your aged care, rehab, ortho, oncology, theatre, mums and bubs. As Tara said, we have a Marta Mothers. So with the elective mums and bubs, you get to have an experience within the postnatal wards, which is really exciting. And we also have community and home care services that we place you as well. So our network, as I mentioned before, we have a lot of regional opportunities across the state. 11 hospitals across the state. So Springfield, Redlands, South Brisbane, Townsville, Mackay, Rocky and Bundaberg. And we have the largest private maternity services. Some of our regional hospitals, Rocky and Mackay, they do have maternity services. They are small, they are private, but you do get opportunities to work within them. And we have extensive relationships with aged care partners who love Marta nurses and Marta students and employ us. As I said, we do have opportunities in Bundaberg, Mackay and Rockhampton. I'm very supportive of organising that. I have a team of facilitators across all our hospitals, and they love having Marta students, and we'll give you the whole hospital experience where you get to follow a patient right through their journey. Any questions? Yay, that was quick.
That was quick. Thanks, Darren. So if you do have any questions in regards to learning skills, student services, even placement questions, even curriculum questions, please hit them up in the Q&A section. So quite a lot of information has been shared, and so no doubt those questions are forming. So Wes, our trusty engineer of all of this, we're going to open the floor to questions and comments. Again, please add them in the Q&A function. You aren't able to unmute your microphones, so please just add the questions in that Q&A part. All right, Wes, our moderator.
Thanks, Tara. Excuse me. A question for you, Darren, first up. Do I have to organise my own placement?
No, you don't. That's my job. I will organise everything. And I pride myself on organising placements to give you a snapshot on everything, and you get every opportunity. The beauty at Marta, we have public and private, so you get to experience the public nursing sector as well as the private sector. So no, you just pass and I will provide the placement.
Thanks, Darren. We've got a question in here. Thank you for the information. I was wondering if the 3 days a week in person is for the full 18 months. Tara?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yes, it is. So that is, I guess, what sets us apart at the moment. We really do prefer in on-campus learning. And so, yeah, you will find that for semester 1 and 2, it's quite heavy in content, and you will be required to be on campus for the 3 days. You might find, and I've recently found that the semester 3 curriculum is a little bit lighter. It's weird, but they are generally on campus for about 2.5 days, sometimes 2 days. But the expectation will be that you'll be on campus for 3 days. for the 18 months.
Thanks, Tara. A question for you, Paola, and happy for the rest of the panel to help if need be. I don't understand what the grad program is. Could you clarify, please?
Excellent question. So a graduate program is continuous employment with a certain provider, in this case, obviously with MARA, in which you are given secure employment. At the beginning, it's for 12 months. You are allocated to a specific ward, and then you receive mentoring, companionship, and support during your transition out of the studies of the diploma into the workforce as an enrolled nurse. One of the advantages of doing a graduate program with MARA is that you actually become a permanent staff member as soon as you become a graduate. So that means that you secure employment, permanent employment in one of the top hospitals while receiving support as well for the first year. Anything else to add, Darren, Tara? You were graduates.
I was just
Yeah.
going to say, I actually didn't do a grad program. That's how old I am. We didn't have one when I did it. It's not full time. It's 0.8 as well. So that's 4 shifts a week, which you might think you want to work full time, but you actually won't be able to manage your tiredness because it's shift work. It's AMs, PMs, and night shift. So that's quite hard to handle if you've never done that before. So MARA just do 4 days a week over a 7-day period.
I'm old enough where they did full time and we did 3 rotations for the year. So it was a rotational grad year, and full time is exhausting, and I wasn't prepared for that after uni. And you would go into 3 different wards for the year, which just comes with a lot of anxiety. And so I believe the feedback was from our graduates that they actually don't prefer to go to 3 different units. It's to consolidate information on one unit for the year. And I can support that. And 0.8 is beautiful. Yep.
Thanks, everyone. A question for you, Paola. I struggle with maths and have only completed science up to a year 10 level. Will that impact my learning going forward?
Great question. It will not impact your learning as long as you are proactive as well in reaching out for help. We have one of our learning skills advisors. She actually specializes in maths. She used to be a maths and physics teacher back in high school. So she understands the struggle and how to explain this into a much better way. So we'd have that support. So as long as you reach out, come to class, and attend those sessions, you will be more than fine, Tara.
Math and physics.
Oh, so bad.
I do see some hands up. So the 2 people who have, or 4 people who have their hands up, please type your questions in the Q&A function.
Thanks, Tara, and thanks, Paola. A question for you, Tara. Can I get my first aid and CPR cert anytime before enrolment?
Yeah, absolutely. So the only thing about your CPR expires within 1 year. So don't race to get that straight away, because you'll try and use that for your first semester placement and your second semester placement. You will need to get your CPR redone within your 18-month course here. So as long as it's your first aid is in date, and that lasts for around 3 years, so that will be fine for your 18 months with us. But yeah, just leave it closer to your commencement in your semester 1 to
Actually,
save you money.
Doesn't MARA Education do first aid and CPR?
Funny you say that, Darren. We actually do offer it. So it is an external thing, so you can purchase that yourself and go to a first aid and CPR day as well through Mother Ed.
Thanks, Tara and Darren. Another question for you, Tara. Do you have many group assessments?
That is a great question. We feel you. We understand where you're coming from with that question. There are some, I know that sounds horrible, doesn't it? But yes, there is, because it's all about collaborative practice. So we need to identify that you can work within a team. Oh, I can think of 3 for the whole course. So there's not many, but there are some. So a lot of the work will be yourself and your own work. But yes, there is some teamwork and collaborative practice group assessments.
Thanks, Tara. A question for you, Paula. When do applications close for the July intake?
Great question. So for the July intake, applications close on the 21st of June. However, given the large number of applicants that we are seeing coming through, we encourage you to start your application early so you are not stressed, you have all your documents, and everything is ready to go as well. So again, Friday, 21st of June is when the applications will close for the July intake.
Perhaps a question for you as well, Paula. Can I switch study location halfway if I need to move with my family?
Yes, not like halfway, like if you start 2 weeks and then you realize that you need to move, that might be a bit more complex, but it is possible. And I can see Tara there nodding.
Yeah.
We have done it before.
We've done, so
Yeah.
it's actually been we've had a few between Brisbane to Townsville, Townsville to
Yeah.
Brisbane. You have to complete the semester first. So we can't transfer you from Brisbane to Townsville if you're in the middle of your semester, because our timetables do vary, like just a little bit. So we need you to complete your learning in one facility. You may be able to move and do your placement up here and then continue your studies. So placement's fine. You can do that in any of our approved sites, but in the active stages of learning, you will have to complete that at your location. And then, yeah, you're right to move sites.
Thanks both. Question for you, Tara. Are there breaks between semesters?
Yeah, but not big ones. So there's generally around a week break. And I know that sounds exhausting, doesn't it? But you do get a registration at the end of 18 months. So you will have 3 semesters, and what they are currently set up is every semester has 2 terms, or 2 11-week terms. Term 1 is really all about learning and learning some skills, and term 2 is getting ready to go on placement. And that includes 3 weeks of placement in that 11 weeks. We have placement set for 3 weeks in a 4-week block. So wherever you aren't on placement, that's your week off. And then you have a week between semesters, and we give you a week between terms at times as well. And then Christmas is when you'll generally get around 4 weeks off, because we need a holiday too. And that's where Mater Ed closes down for 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, so not a lot of leave, but we do recognize that you need to have a little bit of a break from us, and we appreciate that.
Thanks, Tara. A question for you, Darren. Do I need to complete the prerequisites for placement before I apply to study?
No and yes. So like Tara said, your first aid, CPR, that can be done before you study, but as long as it's current for while you're on placement. Your police check will need to have 3 months currency on it during your placement as well. Your NDIS, you can do that anytime pretty much, but it'll just need to be linked to us. So there's an email you can do that. And your vaccinations, look, essentially, yes, they can be done if you know they need to be done, but most people have their childhood vaccinations, and generally it's boosters that need to be done. I wouldn't stress about it. You have plenty of time from when you start. You have a whole term and a half to get things done before you go on placement. Placement's at the end. of everything. You've got to pass everything before you hit my awards.
Thanks, Darren. Question for you, Tara. Generally, how many students are in one class?
It really varies on campus. So we've got smaller cohorts here in Townsville. Springfield have also got a smaller cohort, and Brisbane is the bigger cohort area. So we can have in the smaller cohorts less than 50, but it can be above that in Brisbane. They are set up so that they are more they move away from that didactic learning. So rather than just sitting there in front of a PowerPoint and having death by PowerPoint, we much prefer to have that more engagement, so learning activities included. So hopefully, even if you are in a bigger cohort, you aren't disadvantaged by that.
Thanks, Tara. Just a reminder to people who have their hands up in Teams, we encourage you to jump into the Q&A function and submit your question via there. We can't unmute you and we cannot turn your webcam on. Question for you, Paula. I'm keen to study, but not sure I'm ready for July. What other intakes are there?
Great question. So, depending on which site you're looking at, for Brisbane and Springfield, we will have another intake in October. Now, when you submit your application, you can actually indicate your preference that you would like to study in October. And for Townsville, it would have to be now the January 2025. And if that's the case, you also need to let the student services team on your application that you're interested in studying in that future intake.
Thanks, Paula. A question for you, Tara. Generally, may I know the students' ages? Don't want to be the oldest.
I guarantee you now you're not the oldest. Straight away, you're not the oldest. We've got a fair amount. I generally find that in the January intake, we've got a lot of school leavers. So that is where you've got your 17, 18-year-olds, or even, your young 20-year-olds who have probably had a little bit of a gap year or some time away, and then they've decided, hey, this is what I want to do. But we have all ages. I believe the oldest we've had was around 70. And so I wish that person retirement. I don't want to be studying at 70, but this is what they wanted to do. And I love the fact that they've been able to complete everything that they've wanted to do. And I believe they're about to graduate. So that's even more exciting. But there are always mature age learners in every cohort. And please don't think that you are very beneficial to a cohort as well. A lot of the school leavers and the young ones learn a lot from mature age learners. So please don't let age be a factor.
Thanks, Tara. Yeah, learning has no age limit, so we encourage you to apply.
Absolutely.
Another question for you, Tara, are the campus days, so the days that students are on site, full days?
As in 9 to 5. No, learning is between 8 to 2:30 currently, but I believe that they are looking at maybe extending those hours and having tute sessions in the afternoons or something like that. So we are looking at how we can improve, I suppose, our timetable a little bit more. Currently, the classes are 8 to 11, so a 3-hour morning session. In Brisbane, you get an hour break because you've got more people in the lunch line. And then at Springfield and in Townsville, we have a half-hour break, and then we recommence learning at 11:30 to 2:30. So you're generally out of here, like I have to let you go at 2:30 because my teaching is done. So you can go and pick up kids. But in Brisbane, the learning commences from 12 till 3. So 2 3-hour sessions per day.
Thanks, Tara. A question for you, Darren. I live in Brisbane and I want to study here, but could I do my placement in Redland if I wanted to?
Absolutely. Now, Redlands is not a big hospital, so there are not the opportunities as much as what you would get at South Brisbane. But I'm very happy to accept as students put their hand up to go. We call Redlands regional, I suppose, because it's a little hospital. Go regionally. But there might be a lot of students from the Redlands area or wherever. So more than happy. And when you enrol, then you'll see me a lot more, and then we can have those conversations.
Thanks, Darren. Question for you, Tara, and maybe Paola as well. Outside of the 3 days on site, how many days do you suggest should be set aside to study?
2. Straight up, 2 days.
I'm with Tara on that one as
Yeah.
well. It is a full-time load, which means you should be looking at around 38 hours of study per week in order to obviously be successful. Like Tara said, yeah, I'm going with the other two because you need to reinforce those skills that you're learning. If you need extra support as well, you need to allow time for that. You need to allow time to be up to date with your assessments as well. So yeah, I'm with Tara on this. I'm a fan of 2 as well.
Yeah. It takes a lot. And if you haven't studied in a while, it often takes a little time to figure out how you learn, how you study, how you can do assignments. Are you a last minute person like myself, or are you a prepped person and you have all
Like
your
me.
plans set out? It just, you have to give yourself the opportunity to learn these skills appropriately. So if you are working full-time now and you add a full-time course load on, you're not setting yourself up for success here. You really need to give yourself that buffer of studying by yourself or group work assignments.
Yeah, I think especially at the beginning because it is a different environment as well. The online system that we use is also different. So I think, like Tara said before, it might take you a while to get familiar with the new rhythm, with the new lifestyle that you need to work around. So yeah, initially allow yourself an extra 2 days. Maybe if you know you're really organized and on top of everything, that might drop to a day and a half. Okay, maybe a
Yeah.
day, but I think at the beginning it's important to prepare yourself and give yourself the best possible chance to do this successfully.
Thanks both. A question for you, Paola. Are there any costs associated with my study?
Great question. So, obviously, at the moment, because it is funded, right? Uh, that means that your fees will be covered if you are eligible. However, there are other inherent costs as part of the program. One of them will be your uniform, because you will need uniform to attend placement and for your simulation day. Part of that uniform, it's the MATA shirt that students wear. It's black business pants and enclosed black leather shoes as well. If you need any extra immunizations, you will need to obviously cover that cost, your first aid and CPR, like we have mentioned before. And you know, if when you need your police check as well later on, those will be the other extra costs that will incur in this one as well. Any other costs that I missed out, Darren or Tara?
I think it's just about making sure you've got a functioning computer.
Yeah.
You've got all your Word on it. Just those small things that are really important.
And
If you need
potentially, oh, sorry, go Tara.
there you go.
Sorry.
Stationery, I love stationery, so it needs to be matching, all of that jazz.
I was just going to mention too, there may be, and well, there are likely to be travel costs getting to your placement as well. Not all placements for semester 1 will be in the aged care facility next door to you, so you will need to sort of hook in with someone with a reliable car, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, and food. You've got to pay for your food.
A follow-up question to that one, Tara. What shoes do you recommend? We get this question all the time.
Okay, Tara.
1, 2, 3, Frankie's.
Frankie's.
Yeah, they are super expensive, and I know life is really tough right now, and the cost of living is atrocious. Invest in your feet. You will, if you buy crap Kmart shoes, starters, they're probably not compliant. They're going to hurt your feet. You get horrible blisters. Just commit to buying a nice set of fully black Frankies. Don't get the one with the white trim. Will give you shoe paint. So just get fully black, leather top. They will help your feet.
I think adding on to that, I think it is an investment because when you go on placement, you have to be on your feet 5 days a week, 8 straight hours. You don't want something, you don't want like the very cheap Kmart shoe to give you back pain, foot pain, and then you have to, not complete your placement because you can't stand up properly. So I think it is, it is an expense, but I think it's an investment that will definitely help you
And
during
they
your
do
diploma.
last too. So
Yeah.
you will be able to take them with you when you are graduated, because they will last more than 18 months.
I think Skechers do some too, don't they? They're not as expensive as Frankies.
Yeah, just be
But
careful
Mm.
with the Skechers. They have to be leather top, because you don't want to go into a placement facility and have some type of body liquid enter your shoes via the top. Say you've got a little bit of a mesh there and it goes and squishes through your toes, not good. Leather top, wipe it off, chuck your shoes in the washing machine later, or just wipe it off and walk away.
Or a needle.
Or a needle drops on your foot, all of
Yeah.
those things, which you'll learn in semester 1, workplace health and safety and infection control.
Thanks, everyone. My girlfriend also works in healthcare, and she swears by Frankie's, so that's another winning recommendation. Tara, a question for you. Are there facilities on campus to come in and study on the days that classes aren't on?
Yeah, completely. So in Springfield and in Townsville, we do have little sections that you can go to, and they're kind of zone spots, so you can set your computer up, your textbooks. Your textbooks are on the computer, but set yourself up in a nice little area. Brisbane, Darren, it's a little bit busier there. Have you got your breakout room?
Yeah, look, there's breakout rooms, and we've got 2 main buildings in South Brisbane that students can access. There's also a student computer room as well. But look, I had a group of semester 1 students come up to me a few weeks ago and asked if they could stay till 4:30 and have a little group session, and where could they sit. So I was able to support them doing that, because to be honest, that doesn't happen very often where students want to stay till 4:30 and have group sessions. So I was quite happy to support that. But there are spaces around, and there's lots of charging little station things and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks both. Question for you, Darren. Is placement completed in blocks, or is it an ongoing commitment throughout the course?
Currently it's in blocks. So as Tara referred to, semester 1 and semester 2 is 3 weeks. So that's over a 4-week period. And semester 3 is 4 weeks over a 5-week period. We are looking at different placement models at the moment, but there's lots of moving pieces with that. So we're just trying to make it so the student has a good experience. But at the moment it's block.
Thanks, Darren. Another quick question for you. Does placement include night shift?
Not in semester 1, but it certainly does in semester 2 and semester 3. So it's and I didn't mention that earlier actually, so I will go through it now. So semester 1 is generally Monday to Friday, AM shift or afternoon shift, and semester 2 and semester 3 is all shifts, public holidays, weekends, any shift I can find that's available for a DON student, you will get that opportunity, and students love it. It's just different. It's experiencing healthcare. It's different vibes on the ward on each shift. It's fun.
Yep.
Thanks, Darren. A question for you, Paula. Will the October 2024 Diploma of Nursing intake be fee-free?
There are limited places for it that are available. So if, like I said before, if you are interested in applying, you need to get in touch with student services sooner rather than later, because there is only a limited number of places for that at this point.
Thanks, Paula. A question for you, Tara. Are assessments pass, fail, or are they graded?
Oh, yes, they are pass fail. So we don't say fail, we just say not yet satisfactory. So they're satisfactory or not yet satisfactory. So as per any RTO, when you do a diploma or a lower level course, you will find that you will always get 2 attempts for success in the course. So much like, oh, well, we are an RTO. So that is exactly what we do. So you'll get a first attempt for anything, a skill, an assessment, an online quiz, anything like that. And let's just say that you don't get 100% satisfactory, you will then always be granted a second attempt. That's where you'll need to gain your 100%. So it's not like uni where you get your P's get degrees. It at times it can be tough getting 100%, but that's why we've got a learning skills team. You have access to your educators between the feedback, so between 2 attempts, and it's really so that you can, get success in this course.
Thanks, Tara. A question for you, Paula, is there a limited number of students who can receive the fee-free TAFE study, or is it for everyone who applies in 2024?
No, there is a limited number of spots. So the first thing is obviously once you apply, you need to make sure that you are eligible to receive it. We went through the criteria before, but a few things obviously to remind you of is that one, you haven't used any fee-free initiative before. So for example, if you completed a certificate for a TAFE using fee-free, then you won't be eligible for this one. So yes, there are limited numbers, which is why we encourage you to apply as soon as possible and before the applications close on Friday, the 21st of June.
Thanks, Paula. Question for you, Tara. How does your course differ from the diploma through TAFE?
Through TAFE? Why would you say that naughty word? No, we're here at Mother Ed. It is the fact that you're on a healthcare campus, really. So that's what sets us apart. We don't dabble in engineering or anything else. We teach health because that's what we do. So the fact that you have your 3 days on campus for 18 months, that's your job interview. And we have the alignment with health where you guys segue into being employees of Mater Health. So really it's that setting for you to be part of our community.
Thanks, Tara. Yes. A question for you, Paula. I want to be considered for the October or January 2025 intakes. Do I wait until the July period closes or do I apply now?
Nope, you can actually apply right now for either of those intakes. You just need to state your preference to which intake you're going for. So if you applied now and you want to go for October, you just need to put in your preferences that you would like to do the October intake. But yeah, you can apply now, definitely, for both of them, October and January.
Thanks, Paula. And that brings us to our final question of the evening. Tara, how do I apply?
So you're going to change the slide and I'm going to give everyone a QR code. So I honestly recommend you hopping in and putting your application, check the QR code and apply today. If you don't have access to that QR code because your phone is probably charging, hop on mitereducation.qrd.edu.au and you can enroll today. Okay, so thank you. That was a great discussion. Thanks for all of the questions. I greatly appreciate it. So you might have heard Paula say our July intake applications for Diploma of Nursing cohort for Brisbane, Townsville and Springfield will close on Friday, the 21st of June, or earlier as soon as places are filled. So if you are interested in applying, you have to apply as soon as possible. So to apply, you can visit the Mater Education website, contact Student Services on the email that's on the screen now, materstudentservices@mater.org.au, or use the QR code that was just on the previous screen. All right, so we've had a great number of questions come through. So if you didn't get your question answered, please contact our student services and they'll be able to help you. And if there is anything else you would like to know or you're keen to talk further on embarking on the Diploma of Nursing, please just reach out to us. Our contact details are now on the screen. And so maybe just take a screenshot with that phone that's not charging. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening, and we look forward to welcome you to the Diploma of Nursing in Townsville, Brisbane and Springfield. Thanks, guys, and good evening.